You're going to cross the Gobi Desert on foot
in the
and just
minus 40 degrees.
in negative 40 degrees and just
Yeah.
hope that you end up in Mongolia.
Yeah, and then discovered by human beings in the middle of the Gobi Desert.
What the hell
So
kind of plan is that?
so your survival rate is very, very low. Like 99% you're not gonna make it.
Oh my gosh.
And you're gonna get caught by soldiers, so you need a miracle. That's why they make you pray and truly like waiting for God's sign to go.
This is and I know you help people escape now, and I
Yeah.
assume you have a slightly
Oh,
better
we don't
plan.
use the we use cars and transport them to
That sounds like a
Thailand.
good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. But we didn't have money. These people, we have to use money to transport them, bribe them. But going to Mongolia, you don't need a broker. They just give you a compass. Why don't you walk, follow the north, like the west part, and then cross the 8 wire fences, and hopefully that's gonna be Mongolia or something.
That is just mind-blowing. So you're crossing the Gobi Desert. How long does it take?
It only took 1 day.
One day.
Because we chose the coldest time of the year. So the guards would think like who's gonna be crazy
Oh, I see.
enough to, because the other times the security is so tight. I mean, there are guards in China preventing nobody can escape. They're gonna shoot you. So if you choose the coldest time, then even though it's very high secure, the tight border, that people think, oh, nobody's crazy enough to cross right
Yeah,
now.
they're
It's-
watching movies and
yeah,
smoking
it's
inside.
so freezing. They don't want
Yeah.
to go outside even themselves. So we chose that time. And then we crossed 1 day. But the hardest thing in the desert is that you don't know if you're going straight or backwards on the side or like
Yeah.
circle, because nothing tells you, indicates you're going forward.
You just have a compass and you're like, I hope this thing works.
Just it's like in the middle of the ocean.
Right.
Nothing tells you where you're going.
There's no landmarks on the horizon. or anything.
Nothing. So
No.
that was like where I shocked. Like I'm not sure if I'm just keep going circle and circle. And now we did the rumors where some defectors do that. Go days and circling the same thing again and again, come back to the same spot. So when we go, like, okay, let's leave our stuff here. So when we come back, maybe we came back here. That's how we went, moved along, leaving some stuff and knowing we've been here. And thankfully, we only got discovered next day by Mongolian soldiers.
So the Mongolian soldiers are used to seeing North
North
Koreans
Koreans.
crossing the border over
Yeah.
these wire fences. So then, is it a warm welcome or is it kind of like you just get arrested?
They use a gun, like put your hands up, right? You cross the border illegally,
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter you're a child or not. And then they told us they're going to send us to China, and then send to North Korea.
Which they're not really going to do.
They have done that
They have done that.
because it's so inconvenient for them to go back to base, call the top people, get in South Korea. So much work for them. So if they can hide, I mean, usually South Chinese soldiers don't even bother to arrest, just shoot them all, and the animals come eat you.
They just shoot you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's like, in the border is a shoot to kill order. They don't bother to arrest you. You gotta shoot them if you see any foreign object there. And
God.
so they just don't want to be bothered. Too much work for them. Too much paperwork they have to fill out when we caught them, how we caught them, right? So they just shoot you, and then like animals gonna do the job for them.
That's awful. Okay. So obviously that didn't happen to you. You got taken in by Mongolian military border guards.
Yeah, the border guards, and then they said they were going to send us back. So we all gonna kill ourselves, right?
Your plan was to kill yourself.
Oh, I mean, North Koreans, it's like the Jewish people when there was a Holocaust.
Right.
We all ready to die when we get caught. And then they eventually swayed in and helped us to go to South Korea.
The thing that I don't understand and that I can't quite wrap my mind around is they've seen refugees come across the border over and over. It's not like this is the first time they've seen it. I don't know why they can't have a plan for this, or they're saying, oh, we're going to send you back. I mean, they must know that what they're doing is heartless and cruel, and they just don't care.
Yeah, I mean, for them, it's fun. It's so
fun,
fun
yeah.
for seeing people begging for their life and so
That's-
desperate, so scared. I mean, that's the thing. Human nature is horrible. When humans are not being educated and civilized, you can become barbarians. And this is the thing about human nature that, people, not the special people, became the guards in the concentration camp during the Nazi Germany. Normal people did that. And I think that's why we need to aware of our nature. That is, kids were just never knew what compassion was, I guess. So it was really fun for them, and we didn't get killed, but one of my mom's friends, she swallowed the pears. and then they after had to take her to hospital, and then she never came back fully after
Oh,
that.
so she
Yeah,
tried it because she thought they were gonna send her back, so she
yeah, because that's what they said.
right.
So a
Oh,
lot
that's
of
just pure
yeah,
evil.
yeah.
What separates you, someone who escaped North Korea, versus somebody who decides to stay? What do you think the difference is?
And somebody, if they can afford to staying behind it, because like they were not as desperate as me. For me was, if I didn't escape, I would not even made a few more days there because I just didn't have
So
food.
you weren't thinking like freedom, you're just thinking rice,
Just food.
food,
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you know, getting starved is worse than being raped. The worst torture is being starved. Because if you don't eat, you die. And before you die from starvation, you hallucinate. You lose your mind. That's how most undignified way of dying from starvation. That's why cannibalism happening in North Korea, because they hallucinate.
Cannibalism.
Yeah, so some mothers eat their children because they thought their children were dogs. Because they go crazy when you don't eat. And then they wake up and then like, what happened to my child? And then they just
Oh
ate.
man.
It's real stories.
You're getting these stories, I assume, through the network of other defectors and
It's a United Nations documents at the COI report,
okay.
and it's based on a true story. There was like director made a movie too. And in North Korea, when we were there, we are actually the policeman was saying there was like he followed some mom was holding their baby, going near the river and then making a fire and then boiling the water, and then she was boiled her baby there. So
Oh god.
policeman called. So these things you hear when you're North Korea. So I mean, it's we hear like just don't go buy the meat at that in the black market. There's somebody selling meat very cheap price, and then like we all know like what they're selling.
I mean, you can tell by the bones also in the meat if it's
Yeah, I mean, thankfully I was so poor that we couldn't afford the meat, so we didn't have to go there.
wow. Yeah, so people are selling like their own children's meat in the market to
Or
survive.
a lot of people die from
Sure.
starvation, so you can just grab them like their bodies floating on the rivers, and the train station when you go there, tons of bodies stacked, so they can just get them and sell the bones and make the broth, right?
What's up with the dead bodies at the train station? Because I've seen dead bodies in North Korea, and the weirdest part is I'll see it, and 15 other people will see it, and our guides will say, "I don't know what you're talking about." Like they're pretending that they
What?
can't see it.
Wow.
Yeah, on
So
the road and at the train
yeah,
station.
because in North Korea, train from one city to the other city in South Korea take 30 minutes. Takes month sometimes because of electricity. You have to push your train. Because
You
North
have to
Korea,
push the train.
yeah,
I mean, that's not possible. How do you do that?
you do. Hundreds of thousands of people come. I'm gonna show you the picture later after this.
Yeah,
What that you can use in the video if you
sure.
want to. What it looks like.
Yeah, we'll link it in the show notes
Yeah,
if you want to just like text it to me after.
you can push the train.
I guess if there's hundreds of people pushing the back of a train, it'll move a little bit. That's
Yeah,
wild, though. I
yeah,
mean, you're
you
not
do.
going up a hill, that's for sure.
You sometimes, yeah, there's a here that train cannot go. Electricity is so low, then people have to go help the train out.
This is just unfreaking believable. I mean, imagine, you got to think, if you're running that country, you know that it's a horrible place and you've done nothing to improve the situation. What do you think about, do you think Kim Jong Un is evil himself, or is he just part of this system that's set up by his father and grandfather and he's trapped? Because he's got to know what's going on. He went to school in Switzerland, so
Exactly.
he knows exactly what's going on.
He knows what human rights is,
Yeah,
how humans supposed to be treated, but that's why it's pure evil.
yeah.
Like he's not brainwashed. He has seen the real world.